Hello everyone, this is a review of 8917 Kalmah. You can tell this is a European box because it doesn't have a piece count. Which, by the way, his piece count is 53. And here I have Barraki, the American box. As you can see down here, right where my finger is, there's a piece count, 47. Pretty interesting. Now then, these are some of the coolest Bionicle boxes. They have these really cool character portraits, and it has like Barraki and Bionicle on the top, and it has this very cool lid on the bottom. It has these bubbles on the side, and I'm sure you noticed it's crooked, which makes it annoying to stack, but yeah, it's crooked. Showing some of the Barraki, it has just a pose of the set, showing that you can fit them in the box, and then a boatload of legal crap. Okay, now then, it's kind of a twist cap, but you just rip it off. It's a little hard to get off. There we go. And it's a pretty interesting piece. I can't connect to any Lego. The pieces just fall right out. Gotta love dumping Bionicle pieces out of a Bionicle box. Oh, the instructions are kind of stuck in there. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of kids ripped their instructions trying to get them out of this box. The instructions like to cling on to the sides. And it just pops right into place. And it looks like some of my joints are the wrong type. They're from 2008, which are super brittle. They will break in like 2 seconds, so beware. This is what they're supposed to look like. It's more rounded. You can see they're a lot thicker, and they would basically only break if they were malformed, like lime green. Also, which I'm perfectly fine with this mistake, I kind of like it. And I knew this going in. I got 2 of the wrong colored squid. He's supposed to come with an orange one and a red one. Instead, I got this kind of greenish one. It's a kind of a teal, and then this other one, which is like a true teal. Very cool. And this one's a little bit more turquoise. And here's a little bit of a better look at this one. Yeah, they're little squid, and they have little faces, and they sing. There's the mask, and I think we're ready to take a look at the instructions. Again, the instructions are very cool. An advertisement for Bionicle Heroes. Very disappointing game in my opinion. And then this year they switched over to the more, traditional Lego instructions. Kind of more what we're used to. It does have a water background. There's the Barraki. And, there's not a lot of advertisements in this instruction manual. Something for the Lego Club. And then Bionicle Heroes. Again, yeah, not the best game. Okay, now let's build this guy. Okay, it only took me about 6 minutes. We went together pretty quick. And one thing I noticed was kind of weird. The instructions had different things compared to the box art regarding the clips. He has clips on his shoulders in the box art. Not in the instructions, kind of weird. That used to happen a lot in Bionicle. You can see he's quite tall. Let's just get size comparisons out of the way. Kind of showed Kai for a minute. He's quite a bit taller than Tahu. He's about a minifig taller. All of the Barraki are generally the same size. Now, let's talk about these feet. They're kind of a new mold. But there, also not. Here's Axon, and he has these Hortica feet. I don't actually have any Hortica. But, you can see, they're not only webbed, like they have these little extra fins, they're also quite a bit flatter. Which I never noticed. I've never actually seen these side by side. So there you go. They're actually a little more flat, which is kind of interesting. No one ever talks about that. And the squid do clip onto his back on these Exoforce hands. Sometimes people also put them inside of his like rib cage, but you know, just fine to slap him back there. And no, they do break easy, so be careful. And speaking of breaking easy and being careful, here's the squid launcher, which is actually rubber. It's a kind of like a crossbow thing? I don't know. So what you do is you take these squid, and yeah, this is a sketch, I know. And you pull back on them, you put them in, and then they go flying. And it's kind of scary. So yeah, you put the eyes underneath the two little pokey outy bits, and you have to configure it like this with the two rubber bits on the top, and you pull back, and it works better if you do it fast. I went a little too fast there. There we go. A lot of times they like shoot down or just do crazy stuff. And again, I would not recommend doing that because these tend to break. Some of the fins for me have ripped off. Not the back fin, but the dorsal fin, I guess you would say. And his main weapon are these giant orange tentacle hands. And the ends are actually clips, and they're rubbery, and you can bend them around. It's very cool. Same thing over here. It's a little awkward, in my opinion. They're just like stuck on his hands. And he does have this very interesting mask. He has 3 eyes, and I believe that one is blind, so he really just has 2. And he has these pincers. The axle broke on mine. Well, it came like that. Got it used. And they're pretty cool. You can just crush them together. And oof, that's scary. Don't look at don't look under there. And you know, his color scheme's growing on me. He has this interesting gradient. He also has fairly good articulation. His feet, not his legs. His ankles can just rotate around. His knees are very standard. They can bend back pretty far though. You can get him into some cool stances. His thighs, you know, pretty average. His shoulders are very nice. And his shoulder armor, like his pauldrons, are loose, so they don't get in the way at all, which is very nice. He also has shoulder articulation, which is basically the same as his knee. And then wrist, you know, pretty dang standard. Just can rotate, go in and out. I don't know why you would need to do that. His head is on a ball joint. You can look around. He just has these weird rubber tentacles on his head. And you can get into some pretty cool poses. All of Barraki can pose in some pretty cool ways. That's kind of a weird pose. His ankles don't bend like side to side very much. So sometimes it's hard to get into like a weird JoJo pose like this. But he does it. As I mentioned before, he does have this kind of cool gradient where his feet are red, with a little bit of black, red, and then it kind of switches to black, and then his body is black, a little bit of red on his back. Same thing with the arms. Like all the Barraki, he has a cool color scheme. And he does pose very well. I think he poses a little bit better than some of the other Barraki. Okay, 2007. He was $9.99 or $10 if you're sane. And adjusting for inflation, that's about $12. I would say that's worth it. He's pretty big. Price to part ratio, that's kind of scary. But I would say it's worth it. He is probably the most simple Barraki, even though he has some of the most pieces. He's definitely like the most basic, just kind of generic Bionicle Anika build. So he's not really anything new, but he does it well. So I would say go out there and get him, and peace out.